my friend. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I wanted to talk about the topic why narcissistic parents treat their children the way they do. I want to share with you 4 important points why they do what they do. My name is Yan. I am a life coach and an author of an Amazon best-selling book. So if you want me to produce more video like this, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. Have your pen and paper ready. Point number 1 is because it is all about the needs and wants of the parents. It's not about the well-being of their children. I know, like myself, I was raised by both parents are narcissistic, and it's been just a hell of an experience itself. It's very, very, very damaging to the children, and children left feeling very hurt, insulted, and confused, hopeless, and just devastated because no children wanted to believe the reason their parents raising them is never about raising them to be this very healthy and happy individual, to be unique, to be this person that has contribution to the world. It's very hard for us to believe that we are here to be used and serve our parents' needs. Healthy parents raise their children for the overall well-being of their children. As much as all parents make mistakes, they will do whatever it takes. They will sacrifice their own needs and wants. They will make compromises to the best extent possible to really help their children growing up to be healthy adults. Point number 2. Narcissistic parents are not simply capable of loving their children as human beings. Sadly, narcissistic parents are not capable of loving anyone but themselves. They use people. They use their children to fulfill their own needs and wants, and they use their children at any expense, neglecting their children's needs, use them as punch bags to take out their anger and frustration on their children, and they don't treat their children with any respect. And they neglect their children's needs because they're so consumed every day using all of their energy, all of their resources, their money to find narcissistic supplies, including their children or anybody else, to providing for them, supplying to them the attention they need, the importance they need, and the pride they need to always look good. It's all about their own wanting and needing and their own ego. I know this is so hurtful to the children of narcissistic parents because at some level, children wanted to believe their parents truly and genuinely, even maybe just a little bit, love them and care about their well-being. But sadly, you can try it for a year or 1,000 years. You will discover you will always being used. Point number 3, they need to be in control at all times. Narcissistic parents are extremely controlling. They are so afraid of losing control of the circumstances, losing control of their authority, or they need to be the boss all the time in the relationship with their children. They need to be the authority to the point that their leadership is totally based on dominance and total control. They don't just control things. They don't just control situation. They also control their children as possessions. They don't treat their children as precious human beings. They devalue feelings. They don't really care about how their children feel. So if you attempt to show how you feel, if you attempt to show that you're vulnerable, they will come back and take advantage of that and exploit your feelings and disvalidate your feelings through manipulation. They could manipulate you. They could even bully you, and they will use all kinds of tactics, which we'll talk about in another episode, to convince you or to force you or to manipulate you to do whatever it takes to disvalidate the way you feel, so that they can turn it around and make you focus on how they feel and supply what they need and give them what they want, and to allow them to be in control at all times. Last but not least, point number 4. Narcissistic parents think and treat their children as an extension of who they are, and is an extension of their own needs and wants. Unlike healthy parents, they will nurture their children, they will raise them to help and support their children to discover their kids' own identity. As children develop, as children grow to be more and more independent, parents learn to detach themselves from their children, to give their children the freedom and the space to grow up, to be who they are as an individual, not an extension of the parents and the parents' identity. So that's what healthy parents do. Narcissistic parents at all times completely brainwash their children to believe their children are not unique individuals. They brainwash their children to become an extension of who they are, their identity, and their self-worth. So the children left feeling very, very hopeless. Their identity is being robbed and stolen. They never had the opportunity to develop their own identity. Even at times, their children might battle, might fight for their identity. They try different ways to find who they are, and narcissistic parents just nip that in the bud. And they make sure their children at all times to stay under their control and to give into their unrealistic demands, and to supply the narcissistic parents of their own needs and wants and for their ego. And no matter how much their children give in, it is never ever enough, because narcissistic parents don't take charge and don't take responsibility for their own needs. And they simply blame their children if things don't go the way they want them to go, and they suffer the consequences of their own poor adult choices, and they make their children to pick up the dirt, to pick up the slack, or to simply take away the pain and the consequences of parents' their own wrongdoing. And also, they use their children for their lost dreams, things they weren't able to accomplish in this life, and the dreams that they were not able to realize for whatever reason. All of a sudden, their children become responsible for the things their parents were not able to make them happen in this life. Well, I hope you find these 4 important points helpful to give you some information to understand why children feel very confused and devastated and experience identity loss, experience poor self-esteem and self-worth. So if you wanted to watch more video like this, please hit the like button below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, as always, take care of yourself and your loved ones.